Kristen Cabot's husband files for divorce after Coldplay kiss cam affair goes viral. That's the headline that has set social media ablaze. The kind of story that blends luxury, betrayal, and the kind of scandal that feels ripped straight out of a Hollywood screenplay. One moment she was the dazzling socialite in designer gowns. The next she was the face of a viral meme, her lips pressed against a rock star under the unforgiving glare of the stadium kiss cam. And now her marriage, a marriage draped in wealth, power, and public perfection, has shattered in the most spectacular fashion. Picture the scene. A sold-out Coldplay concert, lights flooding the arena like falling stars, the crowd chanting every lyric. Then the giant screen flickers to the kiss cam, scanning over couples laughing, blushing, leaning into each other. Suddenly it lands on Kristen Cabot, glowing in sequin perfection, seated beside one of the band members who casually slung an arm around her. A beat of hesitation, then a kiss, brief but electric, the kind that makes tens of thousands of fans scream and millions online replay the clip on loop. Phones went up, hashtags were born, and before the encore even finished, the internet had crowned it the Coldplay kiss cam affair. What looked like a playful moment to the crowd became a storm for her private life. Because waiting at home was her husband, a man not just wealthy but aristocratic in posture and influence, the kind of husband who embodied the quiet, powerful luxury of old money. Their marriage had always been projected as flawless, the kind of union featured in glossy magazines, charity galas, yacht retreats, holiday cards with golden retrievers by marble staircases. But in a world where perception is currency, the viral video burned through that image like fire through silk. Kristen Cabot's husband filing for divorce after the Coldplay kiss cam affair went viral wasn't just gossip. It was an implosion of a dynasty-like marriage that people thought untouchable. The morning after the concert, tabloids devoured the moment with ravenous delight. Screenshots of the kiss, slowed-down GIFs, captions like Coldplay found a new fan in more ways than one. TikTok turned it into trending sounds. Twitter had its flood of reaction memes, half the internet screaming queen behavior, while the other half condemned her as disrespectful. Even Reddit threads spun wild theories about whether it was staged, whether the band orchestrated it, whether Kristen was secretly living a double life. What no one expected was the speed with which her husband reacted. Lawyers filed paperwork within 72 hours. No waiting, no counseling, no quiet negotiations. The message was sharp. Betrayal on that scale was intolerable. It wasn't just a personal wound, it was a brand risk. Kristen Cabot's husband was tied to boardrooms, trusts, philanthropic ventures with royal patrons. To him, a viral scandal wasn't just heartbreak, it was a contagion threatening decades of curated prestige. In the circles of the ultra-elite, image is everything. A single meme can do what enemies, rivals, or even economic collapse cannot: humiliate. And humiliation in their world is often followed by exile. Filing for divorce so swiftly was less about emotion and more about control, seizing the narrative before the narrative swallowed him whole. Yet Kristen herself seemed unfazed. Spotted days later in Paris, stepping out of a black car in a silver gown for a fashion week after party, she radiated the calm of someone who has been trained to live under flashing cameras. If the kiss cam had made her infamous, she embraced it like a role. Champagne flute in hand, smile sharp as crystal, she almost seemed to be saying, "Yes, I did it. And what of it?" That confidence only fueled the speculation. Was the Coldplay kiss cam affair spontaneous, or was it calculated? A rebellion against a cold marriage? A publicity stunt to keep her in the spotlight? Or simply a fleeting moment of fun that spiraled into catastrophe? Behind closed doors, the divorce papers painted a harsher reality. Sources whispered about marital fractures long before the concert. Rumors of distance, of icy silences in their mansion's gilded halls, of two people living parallel lives under one roof. For her husband, the kiss was the final act of defiance, a public declaration that what they had was already broken. For Kristen, perhaps it was freedom disguised as scandal. Because if you looked closely, the kiss cam wasn't just two lips meeting. It was Kristen leaning into chaos, into passion, into something unscripted in a life otherwise choreographed by wealth and expectation. Midway through this saga, let's not forget the line that keeps echoing everywhere. Kristen Cabot's husband files for divorce after Coldplay kiss cam affair goes viral. It's the question fueling hashtags, the sentence dropped like confetti in group chats, the kind of phrase that ricochets across pop culture because it combines everything people secretly crave: celebrity, betrayal, glamour, and downfall. But what makes this affair different is the scale of its impact. In past decades, such a scandal might have been confined to tabloid pages. Today, it lives on every phone, replayed in every timeline, dissected by influencers for clout, dramatized on TikTok with background music of Coldplay's own ballads. Kristen Cabot didn't just kiss a rock star, she kissed away her privacy, and in doing so, she became a storyline owned by millions. Her husband's divorce filing only gave it the weight of finality, turning a viral clip into a historical chapter in modern gossip lore. The court proceedings promised to be as dramatic as the kiss itself. Their shared properties, estates sprawling across Europe and the US, an art collection rumored to include lost Impressionist works, cars that belong more in museums than garages, are suddenly at stake. The prenuptial agreement, ironclad but tested, may determine whether Kristen walks away with a fortune or a headline. Every motion filed, every leaked document, will be consumed by a public that has already cast her as either heroine or villain. In truth, she is both: the glamorous socialite who dared to live in the moment, and the wife who shattered the sanctity of a union watched by millions. Meanwhile, Coldplay's camp has remained silent, as though hopping the firestorm will burn itself out. But silence in this case is fuel. Every quiet refusal to comment invites new conspiracy threads. Did the band know her beforehand? Was it innocent fun or something more intimate? The lack of answers ensures the story's longevity. The longer they withhold, the more the internet fills in the gaps with its own wild imagination. And the memes, oh the memes. Kristen Cabot's kiss has been edited into movie posters, into royal coronations, into clips of soap operas where dramatic music swells as characters gasp. Her husband, often depicted as a shadowy figure in these memes, becomes the tragic aristocrat undone by modern spectacle. The internet doesn't just watch scandals, it repackages them into folklore. Kristen is no longer simply a woman who kissed on a kiss cam. She is the symbol of how fast power, love, and image can dissolve under the viral spotlight. As weeks pass, one thing becomes clear: there is no going back. Divorce in their world is not just paperwork. It is exile from a shared empire. Kristen may keep the diamonds, the couture, the applause of the public, but her husband keeps the legacy, the deep-rooted influence that money alone cannot buy. She will be free, yes, but freedom in the spotlight is never quiet. Her every step will now be measured against that moment, that kiss, that headline. Even if she finds new love, even if she reinvents herself, the ghost of that kiss cam clip will haunt her name like a watermark.